So today I have a special episode for Sarah that I want to share with her.
Ooh, interesting.
So I picked the topic rabies.
Okay.
So what do you think of when you think of rabies?
You know, like rabid animals that...
What happens?
They bite you, you know, you get infected.
Beautiful.
They're foaming at the mouth. Cujo.
Oh, God, Cujo.
I have a funny Cujo story.
Girl.
If we're talking about rabies, I might have to add that story in.
I used to be scared of my own dogs because of Cujo. Okay.
But yeah, that's what I think of, you know, foaming at the mouth and, you know.
Okay.
Stay away. Put them down. What you got?
So, I always see this story on Reddit. You know where it is, right? Okay. So I always see it there, and then every time I read this whole story, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like so interesting. And then like I go down the rabies rabbit hole.
No pun intended there.
Right. With like radium, you know, it go down the rabbit holes. Maybe I just like words that start with ra. But I'm going to tell you a story. So get ready.
All right.
All right.
Let's slide.
So let me paint you a picture. You go camping. Okay. You're already intrigued?
I'm like, wait.
Excuse me? And at midday, you decide to take a nap in a nice little hammock.
Okay.
Sound familiar? Okay. While sleeping...
I'm already nervous. I'm just putting myself there.
And I think of you when I read this.
Oh, gosh.
While sleeping, a tiny brown bat in the rage stages of infection is fidgeting in broad daylight, uncomfortable and thirsty due to hydrophobia, and you snort, startling him. It's not good.
No.
Except you're asleep.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, so you don't see it coming.
And he's a little brown bat that weighs about 6 grams.
Oh, my God.
You don't even feel him land on your bare knee. And he starts to bite.
Oh, no.
His teeth are tiny, hardly enough to even break the skin, but he does manage to give you the equivalent of a tiny scrape that goes completely unnoticed.
Okay.
So rabies does not travel in your blood. In fact, a blood test won't even tell you if you've got it.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You wake up none the wiser. If you notice anything at the bite site at all, you assume you just lightly scraped it on something. Probably like a twig, because you know you're out camping in the woods. But the bomb has been lit, and your nervous system is the wick.
Oh, gosh.
The rabies will multiply along your nervous system, doing virtually no damage and completely undetectable. You literally have no symptoms.
Oh, God.
It may be 4 days, it may be a year, but the camping trip is mostly long forgotten.
Really? Wow.
It can sit for like years before it shows up. Wow. Then one day, your back starts to ache. Or maybe you get a slight headache. At this point, you're already dead.
What?
There's no cure.
Dang.
The sole caveat to this is the Milwaukee Protocol, which leaves most patients dead anyway, and the survivors mentally disabled and is seldom done. Wow. And Sarah will get more into that later. So there is no treatment. It has a 100% kill rate.
Wow.
So absorb that. Not a single other virus on this planet has a 100% kill rate. Only rabies, and once you're symptomatic, it's over. You're dead. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So what does that look like? Your headache turns into a fever and a general feeling of being unwell. You're fidgety, uncomfortable, and scared. As a virus that has taken its time getting into your brain finds a vast network of nerve endings, it begins to rapidly reproduce, starting at the base of your brain, where your pons is located. This is a part of the brain that controls communication between the rest of the brain and the body, as well as sleep cycles. Next, you become anxious. I'm gonna scare you from camping.
Yeah.
You'd be like Cujo's out there. So, you still think you have only a mild fever, but suddenly you find yourself becoming scared, even horrified, and it doesn't occur to you that you don't know why. This is because rabies is chewing up your amygdala. It performs a primary role in processing of memory, decision-making, and emotional responses. As your cerebellum becomes hot with the virus, you begin to lose muscle coordination and balance. You think maybe it's a good idea to go to the doctor now, but assuming a doctor is smart enough to even run tests necessary in the few days you have left on the planet, odds are they'll only be able to tell your loved ones what you died of later.
Wow.
That's fast.
Yeah.
You're twitchy, shaking, and scared. You have the normal fear of not knowing what's going on, but with the virus really messing up the amygdala, this is amplified 100-fold. And it's around this time the hydrophobia starts. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're horribly thirsty and you just want water, but you can't drink. Every time you do, your throat clamps shut and you vomit.
Wow.
This has become a legitimate active fear of water. You're thirsty, but looking at a glass of water begins to make you gag and shy back in fear.
Never would have thought that I'd be scared of water.
I know.
To drink it,
Yeah.
much less.
I know. The contradiction is hard for your hot brain to see at this point. By now, the doctors will have put you on IVs to keep you hydrated, but even that is futile. You were dead the second you had a headache.
Wow.
You begin hearing things, or not hearing at all as your thalamus goes. The primary function of the thalamus is to relay motor and sensory signals to the cerebral cortex. You taste sounds, you see smells, everything starts feeling like the most horrifying acid trip anyone has ever been on.
Wow.
With your hippocampus long under attack, you're having trouble remembering things, especially family. It has a major role in learning and memory, your hippocampus. You're alone, hallucinating, thirsty, confused, and absolutely undeniably terrified. Everything scares the literal shit out of you at this point. These strange people in lab coats, these strange people standing around your bed crying who keep trying to get you to drink something. And it's only been about a week since that little headache that you completely forgotten. Time means nothing to you anymore. Funny enough, you know exactly how that bat felt when he bit you.
Wow.
Eventually, you slip into the dumb rabies phase. Quote unquote, dumb rabies phase. Your brain has started the process of shutting down. Too much has been turned into a liquid virus. Your face droops, you drool, you're all but unaware of what's around you. A sudden noise or light might startle you, but for the most part, it's all you can do is just stare at the ground. You haven't really slept for about 72 hours. Then you die.
Wow.
Always, you die.
Always.
Always. 100%.
100%.
100% of the time, you always die.
Ew.
And there's not one thing anyone can do for you. Then there's a question of what to do with your corpse. I mean, sure, burying it is the right thing to do, but the virus can survive in a corpse for years.
Wow. I did not know that.
I can. You could kill every rabid animal on the planet today, and if from 2 years from now, some moist, preserved, rotten hunk of used-to-be brain gets eaten by an animal, it starts all over.
Okay, I did know that.
Yeah.
I didn't put that together.
So that's the story I wanted to read you.
Wow.
That just gets me down the rabbit hole every time.
That's
It is so interesting, like the way they put it. I'm like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Do you still want to go camping? You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Watch out for the bats and
Yeah.
the raccoons and
I mean,
the
I'm not
dogs.
going to sleep on a hammock now, you know.
Did you say you wanted to?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I did. Wanted to go, you know, just camp and just take a hammock and set it up in the woods, but probably going to set up a tent and make sure it's zipped up the whole time so
Right.
nothing can get in.
Yes.
Check it before I get in for bed
And
and
inspect those scratches.
that was quite an interesting story.
Mhm.
I knew rabies was like not curable.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it's so bad. That's why our animals need the rabies shot
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't happen to them.
Yeah,
But
and don't spread it.
dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So, I have Sarah gonna read.
So I guess like Val mentioned earlier, you know, I'll talk about the Milwaukee Protocol. On September 12th, 2004, Gianna Geis and her mom attended the former St. Patrick's Church. During Mass, a bat began to swoop down, going from window to window, but never getting out, which she thought was odd. People swatted at it with songbooks and hats. Finally, in the back of the church, an usher knocked it down to the landing above the steps. Wanting to help the bat and spare the people from further panic, she stepped up to take it outside. She picked it up by the tips of its wings, thinking it couldn't bite or scratch her in that position, but as she rushed out the door and onto the outside steps, the bat's tooth pierced her left index finger. Would you have done that?
Pick it up?
Yeah.
No. Would you? Yeah, probably would have.
Not with my bare hands.
Okay.
I probably would have, gotten... trying to think of what a church might would have. Some sort of cloth and bundled it up and grabbed it like that.
She tried to pick it up by the tip of the wing.
It's a bat! Come on! Yeah. No, not even something that can't fly wouldn't do it like that.
You shoot off with a broom or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got a broom.
Yeah. Pin it and then drag it
No, just sweep it off.
No, it can fly. Well, he did knock it down, didn't he?
Well, shoot, I don't know.
I wouldn't have done what she did, that's for sure. To get it to release, she did have to yank the bat off and dropped it into a pine tree she had planned to lay it in. So she's
like, fuck you, bat.
When she told her mom what happened after Mass and showed her the bite smaller than a pinprick, her mom washed it with hydrogen peroxide. I'd have used alcohol.
Something. Acid?
Either one. Yeah, acid. It all began 3 weeks later with tingling from her left hand to her elbow, she thought to be a pinched nerve from volleyball practice. During homecoming week, she began to feel nauseous and extremely tired. When playing in the last volleyball game of the season, she had double vision and bits of her memory began to be lost. That Friday, her pediatrician referred her to a neurologist who ran a CAT scan and blood work. As I spoke with him, Gianna remembers leaning over her mom and asking, "What about the bat bite?" They were told it was nothing to worry about, but as symptoms began to worsen the next day, she was taken to the ER and admitted to the hospital. The doctors tested for West Nile virus, meningitis, and Lyme's disease, but all came back negative, while she developed slurred speech, tremors, increased vomiting, and her body became rigid. On October 18th, as her pediatrician asked what she could have been exposed to that would cause this, her mom brought up the bat. Immediately, he called Children's Hospital of Milwaukee, and she was taken by ambulance. At the hospital, doctors took hair, skin, and saliva samples to be sent to the Centers for Disease Control in Georgia. When the results came back the next day, rabies was confirmed. She did.
I'd be so scared.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to say it like that, but she did.
She did.
Yeah, that would be terrifying. Her parents were told that they could either leave her at the hospital to die or take her home. That's sad.
I know. Imagine being told that.
Yeah. It's inevitable. Where do you want her to be?
Right.
Oh. Dr. Rodney Willoughby, who had taken the job only 4 months earlier, presented a third option. Ooh, what's this about? From the time she had been admitted, the doctor had researched rabies and found that in those infected, the brain was physically undamaged. What? The disease, Gianna said, spreads from the wound to the nerves, to the spinal cord, to the brain, and to the salivary glands, so it can be passed on. If the virus could be stopped from reaching the brain, Willoughby believed she could be saved. To do so, he suggested an experimental medically induced coma. Within 7 days, the virus was gone, and in 2 weeks, doctors brought her out of the coma, making her the first person to survive rabies without the vaccine. What? I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I had no idea that anybody ever survived it. This is a good one, Val. Good job. Thanks. This method, now known as the Milwaukee Protocol, a procedure reported to prevent death after the onset of rabies symptoms, has been performed over 26 times since its inception in 2004, but has only saved 1 life. Gianna's.
Yeah, so. Yes, fucked.
Overwhelming failure has led health officials to label the protocol a red herring, meaning a misleading procedure.
Yeah.
Because it didn't work for 25 of the 26 people.
Right.
That's still not a lot of people to... I mean, you think about it. They test a lot more than just... I wonder if they do that still. Like, try it.
Probably. Maybe it's like a last resort.
Yeah.
I mean, what else you gonna do?
I know. It wouldn't hurt to try.
Yeah.
It may be misleading, but at the same time, it gives somebody a bit of hope rather than telling them, where do you want to go to die?
Right?
You want to go home? You want to stay here?
I think I'd rather be in a coma and then die or something.
Yeah, put me in a coma and let me just go peacefully in my sleep.
Yeah.
Rather than to, like that other story, you know, like...
hydrophobia and...
Yeah, I don't want to be scared to drink water.
All that crazy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Put me in a coma.
Yeah.
It's on video now. If I get rabies, put me in a coma.
Oh, yeah. Try the Milwaukee protocol here for both of us.
We want the Milwaukee Protocol.
Yes, we'll take the Milwaukee Protocol for rabies.
Well, I don't know. Maybe after you read the next part, you might not.
Oh gosh. All right. Jana was left with a host of neurological problems that required 2 years of physical, occupational, and speech therapy, and she still faces struggles. She recently earned a bachelor's degree in biology and frequently speaks about rabies at schools and to groups. I don't know. I think I still probably would be okay with a coma. It sounds like she did good. She got her bachelor's degree.
Yeah, but this is her. But I also left like medically. What did it say? Something disabled. What does it say?
It didn't say nothing else. Not the only one. It only saved one life. The rest of them didn't say.
Yeah, but it said, or maybe I read it up here. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Which leaves most patients dead anyway, and most survivors mentally disabled. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It did say that earlier.
So what if it left you mentally disabled? Then just kill me.
That's a hard one. A really hard one. I don't know.
I mean, if I was like her, if you do watch videos of her, you can like tell in her voice that like something has happened. Mm-hmm. But I mean, for the most part, she's living her life. I think she has like a husband and kids now, so she's living her best life.
Yeah. As a rabies survivor, not many people can say that.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still torn if I would want, to chance that. I think I'd want to chance it. If I had a chance to have some sort of a mental, disability or whatever from being put in a coma. Mm-hmm. But those that you're speaking of, that you spoke of earlier, were they done with the Milwaukee Protocol?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I don't know if they might be dead.
Now?
Probably.
I don't know. I think I'd still want to chance it.
Yeah, I'd still chance it. If I'm a vegetable, just off me.
Yeah, if it's more like a vegetative state, no, just pull the plug.
Right.
That's not life.
Let me go. Yeah.
5 more people since have been successfully treated, although 2 died of unrelated complications.
So there's a chance.
Yeah, there's hope. Rabies killed a patient who had a kidney transplant for more than a year. Now they are treating 3 other people who got a second kidney, a heart, and a liver from the same donor, an Air Force recruit who apparently died of undiagnosed rabies. Wait. They got the organs from somebody who had rabies?
Undiagnosed rabies.
And they didn't know that it was rabies.
Yep.
And it killed someone.
In, like, blood work.
It killed someone after a year. After the transplant. And 3 other people... One who got the other kidney, one who got his heart, or her heart, and the other liver. Mm-hmm. Dang.
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
It spread to 3 other people, like 4?
4.
4 other people.
That's crazy.
Because I don't think you can detect rabies unless you're like specifically
looking for it.
So like they didn't know.
Yeah. Wow. The donor died in Florida, and the heart, kidneys, and liver from the patient were transplanted into 4 other people, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention said. The Defense Department said the donor was a 20-year-old recruit who had been in the Air Force for just under 4 months when he died in 2011.
So young.
That's so sad.
20
years old, and you just joined the Air Force, and you have these symptoms, so it's like, Did he get rabies while in the Air Force? Because it can show up that early. Or did he have rabies before the Air Force?
It's a good question.
That's crazy. Do they not have something in place where they check for rabies before they... Like, don't they... I thought they do all that stuff when people donate their organs and stuff. I thought they tested all that.
I think the only way you can look for the rabies, it has to be like a certain antibody test or something.
Well, they should have done that.
Yeah. It needs to be a new procedure. Test the antibodies before donating.
Yeah, before, well, I mean, you can donate your organs and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, choose to be a donor, but before those donated organs get transplanted into somebody else, test for rabies.
Imagine how much that sucked. Like, you've been waiting this whole time for, like, a liver, and then you get a liver, and it has rabies.
You die a year later.
You probably had better luck without it.
It's funny, but
I know,
right? You probably would have lived another 4 or 5 years without it.
It's so messed up.
It's so messed up. It is. I agree.
Man, rabies is scary.
Yeah. 100% kill rate, basically.
Yeah.
Treatment after exposure can prevent the disease if given within 10 days. The rabies vaccine is 100% effective if given early and still has a chance of success if delivery is delayed.
So it's either 100% effective or 100% going to kill you.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
No. Dang.
So, message of the story. If you get bit by anything, go get your shots.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Anything that you're not sure of. Like, even if it's somebody's dog that has a collar on, and they bite you. Well, you don't know if they're up to date on their rabies shot.
Yeah. People have died from dog bites.
That's a yearly shot.
Yeah.
In case you're not a pet person, that's a yearly shot.
Yeah. A lot of people don't get it. Yeah. So, you got your dogs, your cats, your bats.
Your bats, your monkeys.
Your raccoons.
I've been seeing a lot of videos of people owning monkeys lately.
Yeah?
A lot. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's telling me I should get a monkey.
Oh, no. Your monkeys.
A little monkey on my shoulder while we record.
Haven't you watched Outbreak?
Yes.
About the monkey. It gives them the disease.
Maybe not. I'll have to watch it.
Spreads all over the world. I love the movie.
It's
like another one of those.
Yeah. I would like Contagion and yeah, definitely a movie I would watch.
Yeah.
I just can't remember if I watched it. So do you want to hear my rabies story?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, not rabies story. Cujo story.
Your Cujo story.
Okay, so if you haven't seen the movie Cujo, it's about the Saint Bernard. He gets rabies and he attacks his owners and these... I
think it's a mom and a kid, isn't it?
It's mom and a kid. Like, it's a family. I think they just moved and it's like they moved to this farm. I'm maybe getting the whole plot wrong, but it's been so long since I've watched it. I was a kid when I first watched it. And I know I watched it in my adult years, but I mean, like...
I think I watched it like a year or two ago.
Oh, mine was probably 7 years ago. But, they're like, I'm pretty sure they go and they buy this farmhouse and like this guy that maybe works on their farm owns Cujo or something. I don't think it was their dog.
Yeah.
I think it was like somebody that works for them or they bought the house. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know that the dad's either home or something. The mom and the son are gone and they come home and like the dog's already tore up the dad and like or whoever and he's got rabies and the mom and the son get locked in the car and it's a whole thing. Okay, this dog has rabies. It's terrifying. It's very gory. It's a brilliant movie because it's accurate for rabies, but it's terrifying because it could be true. So my story, the house that I lived in when I was growing up. So we used to watch TV and lay on the floor. And if you're watching the YouTube, I'm kind of trying to show how this is laid out. So I'm going to try to explain it best for those podcast listeners. So I was laying on the ground, laying on my belly, watching Cujo close to the TV. And the door, like, It was a rainy day. I will never forget this day. It was raining outside, and we had a screen door, and we had a big wooden heavy door. So it was like open like this, and I'm over here watching TV this way. So I can't see this side of the screen door. Well, my mom's sitting back here in her little rocking chair. I don't know if she's watching something, or she might have been doing a crossword puzzle because she's seen the movie 1,000 times. But she's like, "Psst, Sarah, turn around, look," and she just kind of like, points to the window, points to the door. So I get up, and there's this big ass Saint Bernard staring at me through the screen door.
No, ma'am.
It's raining outside, so this dog is soaking wet. It's muddy, and it's just like,
oh no,
breathing in the door, went inside because it's wet, and raining. And I flip. I'm serious. Like, this dog looks like Cujo.
I was
just like
screamed,
Cujo.
peed myself.
I freak out. I really don't remember what happened after that.
You're so traumatized. You don't remember.
So traumatized. I don't remember exactly what I did. I might have cried. I don't know.
I would have cried.
I had to be like, I don't know, Mama. If you remember this, let me know in the comments down below how old I was, because I do think it was like before 4th grade. So I had to be like 8 or 9, 7, 8, 9, something like that. But it turned out it was somebody who lived down the road. Like, we lived down a little private road. He lived towards the end. It was his dog, and the dog got out, so he showed up and took it home, but did not have rabies. Just looked like Cujo. Everything down except for missing the foam.
Yeah.
So that's my rabies Cujo story.
Man, Cujo and like Old Yeller, like watching those. We had 2 like little poodles or something like that, and I was like scared to go outside and play with them when I was little. I would like look out the window and be like, are they okay?
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And like just like anytime at night, just like going outside, I'm like, something's around here.
Oh wow. I never thought of it again after that.
Dang.
As far as like other animals, I definitely looked out for that Saint Bernard.
See, this is like I would just think of like Chucky was gonna get me, Cujo, Tremors, like everything's trying to get me. Okay.
Yeah, I did think that with Tremors.
Yes, I was scared to go outside.
The Tooth Fairy.
That movie?
Yeah, what's it called? Darkness Falls.
Yeah,
that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I feel that.
I barely remember that movie.
It's a Tooth Fairy movie.
I remember that. I remember that part, but I don't remember anything else.
All I remember about that movie is that I wanted to stop watching it and go next door to my uncle's house, and one of my siblings hid behind the propane tank as we were walking in the dark. Somebody was walking me there. Maybe my mom was walking me over to his house, and gave enough time for my sibling to hide behind the propane tank and jump out and scare me. Mm-hmm. I screamed.
There's one on Reddit I seen. That was like a coyote that came up to this dude's door, and he was all like showing his teeth and like foaming and just like pacing back and forth. Oh, it scared the heck out of me, because like before that winter storm, we had a bunch of coyotes in the back, and I was always scared like they were gonna come up there with some rabies.
Yeah, that would be scary.
Look out, all the wildlife out there. So raccoons.
Yeah. Oh, I saw a raccoon out here. It definitely did not have rabies. It didn't look like it, at least. But I'm in this the next door app. For, like the neighbor, not this neighborhood, but one close over here. And someone posted a screenshot of their back yard camera, and a fox was acting really weird and strange, and then just died on their back by their swimming pool, and they're pretty sure it had rabies because of the way it looked and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, around here,
yeah, that's really close.
Yeah,
and I've been seeing a lot of stories like around here of like, oh, this has rabies. I think the state park had like rabies stuff.
What? Or
like around the state park somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going there.
A lot of rabies. If you get bit, take that thing with you so they can test it.
So they can test it. Yeah. That's true.
They take off the head.
What?
They gotta test it through the brain, I think.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Kill it first, and then
kill it.
Don't splatter it everywhere.
Yeah. Pour acid on all the spots.
For real. Anyway, that's the crazy virus of rabies. So for the question of the day, I have a question for you.
Okay, what is it?
So how do you think zombies will happen? Like, do you think it'll be like a a rage supervirus for rabies or
Something else?
something else?
Hmm.
Some other kind of virus, or what you think?
Hold on, don't look. Because I know there is something that I've thought about this, and there is something that I gotta...
I can't see anything.
Okay, good.
A whole tree.
So I've thought about this before, and I never thought about it being like some sort of a rabies rage virus type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of the fungus? The zombie fungus?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
And like insects?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know
explain.
how it like
they probably don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly, and don't quote me on this because I'm not a scientist, and I've just seen like videos and pictures and stuff. I haven't really done a lot of research into it, but I think it takes its host and it kills it or whatever, but so its host is dead, but it's still moving and stuff because this fungus is just like it's controlling it and
freaky.
Yeah, it's freaky. So that's what I think. It might be some sort of a mutation from that where it takes over our body, kills us, and then controls our nervous system. I don't know if it's going to be like that. I eat brains. You know, it might just be whatever that kind of fungus needs to survive. Maybe something similar, and it may be flesh, it may be blood, it may be brains. But I think that's what would happen.
Yeah. Ooh.
What about you?
So mine is more like kind of more like the vamps from I Am Legend. He's Legend. There's a band, and I get the band and the movie mixed up.
Oh, okay. I Am Legend.
So I Am Legend. So I think they're gonna be more like that, like because I think that didn't they release some kind of something into the air, so it's airborne, and then they all got it or whatever, went crazy. And then turn into like those vamps. So I think the zombies, quote unquote, will be more like that. Like, not like the zombies we see like today where they're all like falling apart. Because like, I feel like that's not realistic.
Yeah, like decaying and stuff.
Yeah, because how are you going to move if you ain't got nothing to move? If you're just like bones, you can't move that.
Well, if you see like The Walking Dead actually is really interesting.
I mean, I've seen first. How many seasons?
Yeah, they're on like 10.
Yeah, I ain't seen that many.
Like that. But like as the seasons go on, you can tell, you can see the difference.
They get better at it.
Like the zombies that haven't fed or haven't gotten anything, that they're just like you'll see them just laying there and they're pretty much a skeleton, and they might be like moving really slow, and it's definitely you can see the progression of the ones that don't get any kind of don't get fed versus the ones that just start decaying because there is no life to keep them up.
But it still doesn't make sense to me. Like for real life, if something was dead and it's still dying and it's just decaying, you're just going to decay till there's nothing, right? I mean, why would biting something make you better? I don't know. You don't have a stomach. Why you need to eat?
Well, you do have a stomach.
It's probably fell out. It probably fell out.
Well,
all of his intestines are hanging out.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disagreeing. I think our two theories, and with the virus, or fungus taking over a host and controlling it that way seems more realistic than a zombie decaying and stuff. And then same with you, some sort of a virus that maybe changes the
mutates person.
Yeah. There's another movie with, who is it?
Explain, and I probably know it.
I know you probably know it. I know. No, never mind. I'm thinking of V Wars on Netflix. With Ian Somerhalder.
No, I haven't seen that one.
That's my man. Forgot about him in our first episode, Meet Your Host. Unless I didn't. I might have mentioned him. I don't remember, but Damon from Vampire Diaries. No, V Wars. It's they go to like Antarctica or something like that, and they're scientists, and this guy like disappears, or I don't remember how the beginning of it starts, but basically it's like it's some sort of chemical that they were, it's airborne, and if you're exposed to it, they had a quarantine for a certain period of time. Well, he didn't get infected by it because he had some sort of
he had some antibodies
or something that didn't affect him, but his friend turned into some sort of zombie. I Am Legend type vampire.
Yeah.
So I definitely think I agree.
Yeah, I think if anything, it would
realistic.
be something like that. Some kind of mutated something. Human, but like still alive, but mutation.
Yeah.
Not truly dead. Have you seen World War Z?
Mm-hmm. It's been a while.
I think something like that is interesting too, where they only want like the perfect host. They don't want like hosts that have like stuff wrong with them, so they can infect the good hosts to carry on the virus.
Right.
I feel like something like that could happen too, but still not with dead ones.
Not with dead ones.
Not with the dead ones. I don't believe in the dead ones. You've fallen apart like a piece of meat that's been in the slow cooker. Like, if you don't have muscles and tendons and you're all falling apart, how you walking, okay? How you chomping on stuff? I'm just talking to the people.
All right, so after an hour's worth of research that Valerie had to cut out here, I finally figured out what this movie is called that I was referring to. The Girl with All the Gifts. It was on Netflix. I don't think it's on there anymore because I could not find it. But it's like the perfect movie for this question, as far as what we've been talking about, and supports our theory. So without giving away too much of the movie, and besides what I've already said about it, because it's not entirely right. I can't remember it perfectly. Definitely going to go watch this movie after, probably watch this tomorrow. Yeah. But anyway, so it's a movie about this fungus that grows, and so your environment becomes toxic. You need oxygen masks, and so it's like second or third generation down from whenever it started. And if you get infected by the spores, you become some sort of a zombie where you're craving blood, but you're still thriving. You may not look different, or you may look different, but the movie is just really, really great plot where they're trying to bring humanity back. That's the word I've been looking for. Where they're trying to bring humanity back, and the kids, it's a movie about these kids and stuff. So it's a really great movie, but it explains so much, it definitely encompasses what we think could happen with the zombies and stuff. Yeah, I think that there's some sort of fungus that may grow, and you may still function. You may crave blood, but you're not going to decay. Yeah. It may not kill you. Yeah. That's what, I Am Legend. I don't think they died. No. They just mutated. Yeah.
And the fungus thing, I feel like there's other movies like that where, what is it? They take over the host and stuff like that. I have to look that up. Because now I'm interested.
Yeah, that could be a whole topic in its own.
Right? It definitely has zombies and stuff.
Yeah, let us know below if you think that would be a good topic, a good episode for us to do. Yeah, and I still think that, I have my own, because I'm totally prepared for a zombie apocalypse. We've talked about that before. But I think the whole zombie where you die and you are reanimated, I think it could be possible. That is an option, but
maybe at first, but if you're decaying all the way,
the rate of decay, I think that would be the lesser of a threat than something like a virus.
I could probably survive one of those rather than the I Am Legend ones where they're running after me and stuff.
Yeah, because then you could just have a sword or something and chop off their feet, slice their feet, and then they can't walk because
those are just creeping around, Yeah. They ain't running after me. Ooh. No, you definitely taking myself out.
But yeah. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that little conversation about the zombies and this whole episode about rabies. Yes. It's definitely, I had no idea. Like, I knew that she was going to do something that I did not know, but could not expect this. So you killed it.
I was so excited.
Yeah, she was. It's so great because I pull up my side of it and she's like, Sarah, do not read. Do not scroll past this page. Do not go any further. Like, red flag. So it's a lot of fun I think it was a lot of fun.
Like, I don't know why I just wanted to do that topic so bad. And like, it's just so interesting, you know, all these viruses. We could do other virus episodes too.
Yeah, we're definitely doing one over the COVID.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of thoughts on that. Definitely going to do that.
Yeah.
Somewhere down the line. Maybe not soon, but
yeah,
we'll do that. So yeah, let us know. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of the rabies episode. Did you know all that about rabies? Because I sure didn't. I knew some of it, but I didn't know all that.
Go get a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get bit or scratched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also let us know how you think zombies could happen. Like, do you think that that's possible? Do you agree with us that it might be some sort of a fungus or a virus that mutates, you know? Or do you think that you could die and come back to life and more of the decaying side? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Let us know. Go to Facebook, comment down below on one of our posts, send us a message, comment down here on YouTube if you're listening solely from our podcast. Yeah, go do those things.
Also wanted to say, not to scare anybody, but the rabies shot is like 20 shots and they hurt, apparently, according to people.
Oh, I was like, have you gotten it?
No, I haven't got it.
So you have to get like a series of 20 shots?
Yeah, it's like 20 shots. And it's like in the area you got bit or hurt.
How do you know if it's so tiny? How do you know?
They just do it. Like, if this one dude said he got like bit on his thumb, they had to put it all on his thumb.
Yeah, like he knew where it was.
Yeah. So I don't know, I guess they'll just randomly, because they put some in your thumb, they put some in each arm, I think they put some in your hips and stuff like that, and you have to come back every like few weeks to like get boosters, and then I think you have to do it like every few years, get like one shot every few years as a booster, and I think if you get bit again, then you'll be okay, you won't have to get any more shots.
Wow.
But I mean, it's either that or 100% death, so.
That makes me think about tetanus.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because, do you not know about tetanus? Like, if you get cut by a rusty nail, you better go get your tetanus shot?
Yeah, but remind you, like the shots?
Oh, well, like, just having, like, if you get rabies, you need to act quickly. That's the same with tetanus.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we should do an episode about tetanus.
I'm down for all the science.
Yeah. All the science.
Science me.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to all of our channels, whether it be YouTube or our podcast. We would love to have your support.
Review
what did you say?
Review it.
Oh, review it. Yes, leave us a review. That helps so much. 5 stars. Give us 5 stars. And if we're not on your favorite podcast site, let us know so that we can get on there. All right. As always,
stay curious.